software. Can you give us a specific example that you'd like to highlight in regards to helping one of these agencies modernize?
Sure, that's a tall order. So
of course
we're across 90% of the federal agencies today. I mean, we've been in the federal space for about 30 years. So, but recently, over the last year and a half, we've been working with a large agency, and their enterprise stretches both CONUS and OCONUS, and they have disparate offices across the globe. Some that are very autonomous. They have to be able to function either with or without access to, let's say, the enterprise network. As Andrew was just talking about, ship-to-shore communications, latency, they have the same problem. That is, in some places, a Ka satellite band may have to do. In some places, they may have, broadband. In a lot of cases, maybe a sat phone. So from our perspective, we had to educate them on one, no, you're not going cloud native with these types of applications and these services. And I think that's an over-reliance that a lot of vendors, hate to pick on the cloud vendors, but they like to tout, hey, go cloud native, everything will be fine. We'll take care of everything. And I always want to point out something we used to talk about back in the 90s when we were deploying broadband is like, what about the last mile? I don't know, some of you may not be old enough to remember these terms that Verizon may have talked about, or even some other vendors like fiber to the curb. Thank you for my Fios. I love my life now, but that was a dream back then. So this agency has to deal with the fact that they don't have that capability, that network isn't there. So we had to show them how, one, they can keep supporting the applications that were critical to those offices that are remote in places that, quite frankly, I never wanted to visit, but at the same time, able to modernize and deal with the latency issues in those applications. So Coast Guard deals with this, Navy deals with it, that is ship-to-shore communications, the latency, the synchronization of applications and information, basically just keeping everything in sync. So we help them understand exactly what they need to do with, one, their identity infrastructure, everything from Active Directory to the databases to the data layer and the infrastructure, and exactly how they can keep those offices humming while they modernize in step. And when I say in step, that means baby steps. Start with the infrastructure, move to the services, the platform, and the applications. It's a phased approach over a number of years. We're not going to get to this panacea overnight. Modernization can never stop. And unfortunately, the TMF has to be funded every year, please. So tell your congressman.
Amen. And we really appreciate everything